while first practice session was very much about getting your qualifying balance dialed in, this one is all going to be about the race car track conditions, similar to what we're going to be seeing around the end of the race. Ooh, I think I'll pit. Let's watch the hands. Oh yeah, big oversteer. That was a full 180-degree correction in turns 3 and 4 up into the gray.
Watch the hands.
Big save, and that started early. That was not unlike what we saw from Felix Rosenqvist in qualifying, where it was one movement of the rear. He caught it, and then a much bigger one the second time.
Well, I heard when he rolled into pit lane, they said just shut it off, so I hustled down here to make sure there wasn't an issue, and they've got the car taken apart, but I think those are just normal adjustments that they're working on. And it's a sensor issue, something going on with the dash, but it's just simply basically a reset, and he's going to be fine and back out here in just a few minutes. So luckily it's happening today rather than tomorrow. So explain what we're most likely talking about with a sensor issue, Hinch.
Well, there's all sorts of different sensor issues. I see some of the mechanics seem to be at the back of the car. It could have been something to do with the gear selection sensor. We saw a lot of issues with those in Nashville, but the side pod on the left-hand side came off, so it could be a number of things. A ton of electronics in this car. Over a mile worth of cable and wire goes through the insides and inner workings of these Indy cars to control all the different electronic functions. So luckily, like you said, it happened now, and no harm, no foul. Looks like they'll be able to get the 28 back on track here.
Continuing with the theme of the changing track conditions and changing car setups, Helio Castroneves, who reported a vibration a little bit ago that I believe has since sorted itself out. They're changing dampers on all 4 corners of this race car. So a lot of times you see guys trying to get the rear of the car to come in a little better, sometimes trying to get the front of the car a little better, and so they make damper changes according to that. But they're literally changing shocks on all 4 corners of this race car, trying to get a little bit better for Helio. So conditions changing. It's getting cooler by the minute down here. The sun has gone down. Track is in pretty much all shade, so it's going to continue to change too the further this session goes. Only 42 minutes remaining and only 18 minutes in, so a long way to go in this session. Lots going to change.
How are you feeling there? It's not bad, just a bit slow. I think I was doing the wrong line in 3 and 4. I think I found something better now. Copy that. Now's the time to make a change if you want it.
Felix Rosenqvist is out of the car once again, and this unfortunately is not a sign that we want to see. So cars headed back to the garage. What's the issue that you guys are battling right now?
I don't know. They just said we had a technical issue. We had to, we're not going to be able to solve it before the end of the session. So that's a shame. Kind of tricky day with what happened in qualifying, and then this missing out on the pit stop practice is not great for us, but man, it is what it is. We just have to kind of switch it on tomorrow and strike a bit from underneath, and I'm sure we'll figure out the way to go forward.
But I hate to make you relive your spin again. What did happen there in qualifying? I don't know that we played your interview from earlier, so take us through what happened in your qualifying spin.
Yeah, I had so on my warm-up lap I was a little bit loose in turn 1 and 2. I had a pretty big moment and obviously compensated a bit with my tools, but it wasn't enough. I kind of had the same moment on my first flying lap, corrected once, and then it kind of broke free again, and I just couldn't save it. I think it was a bit greedy with the balance of the car. Also, I should have compensated a bit more with my tools, but it's easy to say afterwards. It's always hard when you have a free car, and yeah, it's a shame, really. I think we had I think the car was very quick today, but we just didn't really nail the balance, and yeah, maybe I could have gone through that without spinning. You never know, but yeah, tough day. Just have to sleep and come back strong tomorrow.
You got 30 minutes in this session. I mean, how do you feel about what you guys have potentially for tomorrow? You got 30 minutes in this session. How do you feel about the race car for tomorrow?
There's a lot of question marks. I don't think we ended with the happiest car. I think it's pretty good, but it's definitely wanted to try some tweaks here in this practice, but it's what it is. You just have to, sometimes you just have to, guess a bit with the setup and, just, yeah, with all this practice, you always build it up slowly, but sometimes you don't have the luxury to do that, and you just kind of have to aim high for the race and see where it goes. So, yeah, I'm confident we'll be good.
Thank you, Felix. Tough day for these guys, but as he said, still confident they're going to be able to make something out of it tomorrow.
Don't like the car at all, says Grosjean.
I'll make some changes.
Well, he's P2, so I feel bad for everybody else if he gets it feeling good.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much front wing.
It's a little too much front wing. That means he's worried about the rear of the car. Too much front grip. It's overpowering the back. It's making the car feel loose. The rear of the car doesn't feel stuck into the racetrack anymore. So it's one of the only tuning tools you can have during the race itself. So it's something during this session the teams will practice adding and taking away so the driver gets a feel for how powerful it is, how it feels in certain scenarios. And that's all just getting logged away in the database, you know, both in Olivier Boisson's computer and in Romain Grosjean's brain for tomorrow night.
This is encouraging to see Callum a little further up the leaderboard. He said after the first practice, these are his words, he said we were horrendous. So they tested here. They were one of those cars that was able to get some laps at the rookie test. So they weren't really great there, weren't great there either, and tried some things differently from where they ended the test in this first practice this morning. Realized those were even worse. So now they're back to kind of how they ended the test, and they fine-tuned on it a little bit more and got it a little bit more in the window. So I think this is encouraging that they're at least going in the right direction here as the sun has gone down and the temperatures have cooled off too.
Racetrack right now. Here's Jack Harvey leading pit lane. A lot of these pit stops and pit practice is going to happen now. So you see David Malukas come out. You see Alex Palou pull out in front of them. Another car. So this is the last 5 minutes. Everyone's going to be practicing their in and out laps, doing some practice pit stops.
Oh, look at this. Look at Lundgaard up high. Is there a brush? Don't think so.
Oh, I don't know. That little one right at the bottom, was that there before? I think he just barely, it must be the lightest white wall I've ever seen on the field, on the track for Jimmy Johnson, spun in pit lane. We just talked about this, how difficult it is getting into pit lane. I said sometimes you can lock the rears getting on the brake, doing that last downshift, and based on the position of the car, I got to think that's what happened here to the 48. But once again, we've talked about this. Townsend's going to be sad he missed it. Jimmy Johnson goes around, and he doesn't hit anything. We think. Let's see the replay, make sure. So on the decel lane, second gear. Watch when he grabs the first gear. Yeah, he grabs first gear, just nicked the nose into the wall there. But as he grabbed first gear, the gap in first and second gear is quite big. The engine didn't quite match the revs, and because you are turning and because the contact patch is less than normal, you just have so much less grip, and it was just enough to send Jimmy around.
From the guys on pit road, who you got, Kevin?
I got Alex Palou, 5th in the championship, starting 5th, and 5th in this practice session. Yeah, so what did you learn in this session? What do you think you're going to have in the race tomorrow night?
Yeah, it was fun to have another hour, trying a little bit the higher line in 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. Didn't really worked out in 3 and 4, but yeah, car is good, cars are fast, just trying to see the difference on temperatures with the tarmac. Now it was a lot lower, and difference on car balance. So yeah, learn some stuff. Hopefully we'll be ready to try and win tomorrow.
I'm hearing you had a little bit of a wash up and a little bit of scare here not too long ago. I was out seeing the site, so I didn't see it, but here we're going to see it together. Tell me about this.
I don't really know, man. I haven't seen it, so yeah, I don't know what went on there. I thought that was even higher than that, so yeah, I don't know. I'll check. The tires were not super old, so yeah, I was lucky that time and glad that the car is okay. So we'll check what happened there, but not ideal on a warm-up.
All good though. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.